In Flanders fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below.
We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field.
Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field.
Good morning, everyone. As you know, tomorrow is Remembrance Day, a day where we take time to remember those men and women who have sacrificed their bodies and minds in the line of duty. I am ever mindful that because of these sacrifices, I have never been put in a position where I've had to die, or even worse, kill for my country. Instead, I've had this luxury of thinking about war as a concept. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say today, I realized that over the course of my life, and I'm someone who has really never left school, I've probably attended anywhere from 40 to 45 Remembrance Day ceremonies, each moving and profound in their own way. And I valued the opportunity to come together in space and time to remember and reflect. There is a danger, however, that these moments of remembrance remain just that, isolated moments. We come together, think about war, get sad, and then get back to our busy lives. This is inevitable to some extent. Time marches on, of course. But I'm going to challenge you today to reimagine what Remembrance Day can be. When I was younger, I think my perception of war was framed by my understanding of choices. I presumed that wise people in positions of great power were making thoughtful decisions, and that the reason for wars were either unfathomably evil or unquestionably just. I believed that the men who fought the wars were there by choice, also largely for ideological reasons, and that their inevitable sacrifices of mind, body, and spirit were somehow a fair trade-off for whatever values they were fighting for. What I'm struck by now, and perhaps this is a matter of age, is how naive this way of thinking seems. When I think of the thousands of faces of soldiers I've seen, from haunting black and white images from World War I over 100 years ago, to images from conflicts that are happening right now, I'm always struck by how young they look. While I don't doubt that there were countless brave and noble choices made by many, both before and after they entered the field of war, I'm also equally certain there were those on those fields who had little, if any, choices in their lives, right up to when they faced a final moment of horror and certainty. The annals of history will also tell us that those wise men directing armies were just as prone to be selfish and misguided as they were to be altruistic and just. Now, I know that we're all looking forward to a little time off in the coming days, but I'd ask that on November 11th, you set aside a little time to think of those who lost parts or all of themselves, both physically and psychologically, fighting battles that may or may not have changed the world. Those people were literally no different than you. They share the same DNA. They had friends and families, hopes and dreams, and doubts and fears, just as we all do. I also know that in our Queenie community, we are not too far removed from those sacrifices. There are students in this building who have lived in the midst of war, just as there are people of all ages in our building who have lost loved ones or go to bed each night worrying about someone half a world away who may be in the midst of conflict right now. I don't know how we honor sacrifices that remain for many of us unimaginable, but I know that a moment of silence once a year just doesn't cut it. Even on our worst days, we live a life with a range of choices that few in the history of the world could imagine. My hope is that as you embrace those opportunities to make big choices in your life, what will you do for a living, who you spend your life with, that you never lose sight of those little daily choices. To choose kindness instead of meanness, respect instead of anger, and how they make you who you are. Freedom is not a tap we turn on and off. It is something we live every day and something we honor every day through the choices we make. I challenge you all to respect those who sacrificed for our freedom by respecting yourself and those around you on a daily basis and making every little choice one that reflects the person you aspire to be. Your choices ultimately should be living monuments that are much more powerful and long-lasting than a statue or wreath. Thank you.